With the second question, I do not believe that God used evolution. I think the biggest reason that I could give that God did not use evolution is that the latest scientific evidence against evolution has been so powerful that there's no need to make it fit into the Bible. The evidence against evolution is overwhelming, so it pretty well settles that issue. As far as the reconciling the time within the Bible frame reference and the hundreds or millions of years that are given supposedly by scientists today, there is much scientific evidence that says that the Earth is not the long ages. We now know through other experiments of sedimentology and other experiments that rock layers can be laid down very quickly. We know that fossilization occurs quickly, canyon formation occurs quickly, cavern formation can occur very quickly. We saw a lot of this through Mount St. Helens as far as canyon formation. And we now know that the dating methods, what they call radiometric dating, that they use to date the rocks, are horribly flawed. And that oftentimes people talk about carbon dating, but carbon dating does not make that point either.
All right. Jeff?
All right. Continuing on what Marty was saying is the fact that if you start off with a faulty premise, then you're going to end up with a faulty answer. And the premise that a lot of evolutionists would use is that there's a certain amount of the carbon stuff he's talking about came out of rocks. We're assuming they all started with this certain amount, and then they gradually all lost it at the same rate. Well, the chances of all the rocks happening that way are just, it's unrealistic. And so they're starting off with a faulty premise to get to a faulty conclusion. Again, today, you may even see on your Yahoo stuff today, they were talking about some bones of different humanoids that were at the same place in the strata and the layers whenever they weren't supposed to be together. There's supposed to be 1.5 million years between them or more, and they're right there together. And so all the time there's this proof that evolution just isn't true, and that creation is actually the only way that it could have happened. And if God used evolution, then it's really tough, because in the beginning it says that actually the plants were created before the sun, and if you do that for a long time, the plants don't live very long. I've done that myself, and they can't stand aside. Plants have to have light, and so it just wouldn't have worked if God used evolution.
All right. You get points for using the word humanoid. All right, Terry.
Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning, God." If you don't believe that, you have a problem with the rest of it. So it began with God. We know the second law of thermodynamics also plays into what Marty just shared, and that is over time, pressure. A lot of the things that happen with aging is a lot of scientific evidence that's not accurate because of the timing. We know that basically it's about 8,000, 8,500 years. It was process when the flood came about, and they're still finding artifacts, finding things that prove not only the flood, but go back and prove that there had to be a great cataclysmic type of event that created this earth. And so, simply, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God.